Hello and welcome to this free Agile PrepCast lesson. I am Cornelius Fichtner and I am the lead instructor. Thanks for your interest in our PMI-ACP exam preparation course. The following presentation will give you an idea of what the lessons in the course are like, and it will also help you on your road to becoming PMI-ACP certified. The complete Agile PrepCast has over 80 lessons that you can simply watch, learn from, and then succeed on your PMI-ACP exam. You can find all the details about the course and how it will help make studying for your exam easier at pmprepcast.com/agile. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Agile PrepCast, helping you prepare for the PMI-ACP exam. Here's your instructor, Cornelius Fichtner.
Hello and welcome back to the Agile PrepCast, your springboard to Agile principles, Agile processes, and Agile project success. I am your instructor, Cornelius Fichtner. Today's topic is the Declaration of Interdependence. But don't worry, we won't make you pledge allegiance to anything here. In this lesson, we will describe what the Declaration of Interdependence is in detail in order to help you understand its importance in Agile project management history, as well as the impact that it continues to have on Agile project management today. Here's what we will be doing. We will discuss the history of the Declaration of Interdependence, display the Agile Declaration of Interdependence as it was originally conceived to you, describe in detail the 6 principal statements that make up the Declaration, provide insight into why each of these principles is important to Agile, and illustrate why using the aspects of interdependence on your Agile project will help them succeed. After the Agile Manifesto was written in 2001, a group of Agile practitioners, then known as the Agile Project Leadership Network and now known as the Agile Leadership Network, came together to determine what management principles that they thought were required to implement the Agile mindset in both product management and project management. In 2005, they published the Project Management Declaration of Interdependence. This was a set of 6 management principles, initially intended for project managers of Agile software development projects. The name was later changed to the Declaration of Interdependence for Modern Management, since they felt that these 6 principles included in the declaration were not only essential to modern project management, but also to much of management in general. While the Agile Manifesto offered specific guidelines and tools on how to implement Agile projects, the Declaration of Interdependence was more geared towards the leadership principles that are required to implement these guidelines. This may initially be confusing, since Agile, by its very nature, is composed of self-organizing teams. However, as we look closer at each of the principles, we will find that project teams and their members, customers and stakeholders are all part of an interdependent whole, and not a group of unconnected individuals. Understanding this and practicing these principles will help to ensure Agile project success by managing people, processes, and value to perform work on your projects. It's the Declaration creators' belief that project teams who do not recognize and capitalize on this interdependence will rarely successfully execute any projects. The Declaration of Interdependence starts with what I would like to call its purpose, and we're talking about agile and adaptive approaches for linking people, projects, and value. And then it continues by saying that we are a community of project leaders that are highly successful at delivering results. So this is sort of the high-level purpose, and then we are going to drive down into the details of how this is achieved. And the Declaration of Interdependence does this using a list of 6 principles that guide project teams to achieve the desired results. Each principle statement indicates an aspect of modern project management that they feel to be critical to project success. The first part of the principle statement indicates why it's important, and the second part indicates how the particular principle can be implemented. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to take a brief look at each of these 6 statements, and then we are going to jump into the details of each principle one by one. So the first 2 principles are: we increase return on investment by making continuous flow of value our focus. And second, we deliver reliable results by engaging customers in frequent interactions and shared ownership. And as you can see, the first part of each principle here, it states why this is important, and the second part indicates how we are going to implement this. Moving on to principle 3 and 4. We expect uncertainty and manage it through iterations, anticipation, and adaptation. We unleash creativity and innovation by recognizing that individuals are the ultimate source of value and creating an environment where they can make a difference. We boost performance through group accountability for results and shared responsibility for team effectiveness. And finally, we improve effectiveness and reliability through situationally specific strategies, processes, and practices. And so much for our quick overview here of these 6 principles. And now that you have seen the Declaration of Interdependence and the 6 principles and how it was originally written, let's look at each individual principle so that we can understand them more fully. So the first principle states, we increase return on investment by making continuous flow of value our focus. This means that Agile projects concentrate their efforts on developing features that the stakeholders, such as users, customers, the organization, or a combination of all of these, are actually requesting. By focusing on this fact, the project can benefit the stakeholders the most and gain a high level of support for the entire process. And when projects consistently deliver expected business results, the stakeholders will understand the value that Agile brings and will embrace changes that support this value. Here is the second principle. It reads as follows. We deliver reliable results by engaging customers in frequent interactions and shared ownership. This means that when interacting with the project stakeholders, it's important to gain their trust and treat them as peers who are just as interested in project success as you are. By encouraging them to frequently interact with the project team, you will let them know that their input and their feedback is not only important to the success of the project, but it is actually critical for its success. And in the third principle, we learn that we expect uncertainty and manage it through iterations, anticipation, and adaptation. So instead of trying to follow a very strict project plan, which is likely to change frequently anyway, it's better to plan the development and implementation of the product using smaller iterations of development and being able to quickly adapt to any changes that add value to the final product. The fourth principle of the Declaration of Interdependence states that we unleash creativity and innovation by recognizing that individuals are the ultimate source of value and creating an environment where they can make a difference. This, of course, means that it is important to understand that we should not just manage people, but should also motivate them. Determine early on in a project what drives people and what their value proposition is for being on the project. Quite often, an individual may be an expert at a certain process or task that is needed on the project, but might actually enjoy doing something different, much more than this particular process or task. If each individual feels that their contribution adds value to the project and also has some personal value, they are much more inclined to be more interactive and creative when performing project tasks. The fifth principle tells us that we boost performance through group accountability for results and shared responsibility for team effectiveness. So, teams that are self-organized are empowered and more likely to take ownership of challenges to do whatever it takes to resolve them. When the entire team takes ownership of a challenge, they have made a personal commitment to their co-workers to resolve the challenges together and to share the responsibility for the success or failure of the project. This is a very strong driving force to help overcome these challenges. And finally, the sixth principle. It states we improve effectiveness and reliability through situationally specific strategies, processes, and practices. So it's very rare on real-life projects that all of the perfect conditions that are described in Agile are actually encountered. Everyone involved in an Agile project must constantly evaluate the project's progress and the best use of all the resources, tools, and techniques that are available to them in order to ensure project success. Each of these need to be evaluated on a constant basis to improve the next iteration of the current project and, in turn, improve all iterations of future projects. Now that we have reviewed each of these 6 principles that are contained in the Declaration of Interdependence, we can plainly see that they are all connected. They are all aspects of the interdependence. This diagram here that you see appearing on the screen now displays the connection that exists between the 6 aspects of interdependence: value, customers, uncertainty, creativity, accountability, and effectiveness. While each aspect is important on its own, the 6 aspects together form a system of values that provides a modern view of managing all projects, but especially complex projects where the future is uncertain. When these aspects are all working together harmoniously, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts and cannot be separated. For example, it's impossible to deliver value without a customer who actually values something, and it's difficult to manage uncertainty without applying effective strategy to uncertain situations. While the Declaration of Interdependence was written to provide specific guidance for software projects and projects in general, it also applies equally well to general management. When the 12 individuals from all different walks of life, consultants, designers, managers, gathered to create it, they were interested in ensuring that the declaration covered all of their own specific operating frameworks. It was the spirit of this type of collaboration of individuals that ensured that the Declaration of Interdependence offered to increase return on investment, deliver reliable results to customers, expect uncertainty, unleash creativity, guarantee accountability, and improve effectiveness on Agile projects. Along with the Agile Manifesto, it remains one of the foundational documents used in Agile practices, regardless of the specific method employed on a specific project. And with all of that said, I recommend that you do some additional reading here. Please go to pmdoi.org, that's Project Management Declaration of Interdependence.org. This is the website where you can find the Declaration of Interdependence in its original form, the way it was actually written, and also offers valuable insights about the Declaration from the viewpoint of its original creators. It is an absolutely quick read. There isn't really much there, but what is there is of great value. And this concludes our review of the Declaration of Interdependence for modern managers. But before we go, I would like to leave you with some thoughts and some information about the Declaration of Interdependence and what to expect on the PMI-ACP exam, because the Declaration of Interdependence continues to be an important document today. It helps to support and clarify the Agile Manifesto in terms of implementing the guidelines that are outlined in the Agile Manifesto. When studying for the ACP exam, it's best to focus on understanding how the 6 aspects of the Declaration of Interdependence support the overall Agile philosophy. This will help you to answer questions on the exam that relate to this philosophy. And that brings us to the end of this lesson. So it's time for Elizabeth to say,
Adios, amigo.
and of course I say, until next time.